around that is China merging with the water Navy. It's a good setting. It's a lot of the guys in my office, like Craig Fowler became a 4-star. He was the commander of my office. He's Capcom. Frank Pandolf became a 3-star. So you kind of rub elbows with a lot of good guys. There we go.
Hey, I'm
John Hine.
John, nice to meet you. Yeah. Well, have fun live streaming with your team. I'll try not to stop by.
Yeah. Right. I try not to say to that. I was like, oh, no, take this thing. Yeah.
You try not to drop the F-bomb. That's what I tell people.
Try not to get too worked up. Just remember, it's a game. It's our kids.
Yeah.
We went to
the referees were checking parents. One of the kids in the penalty box, and that fight broke out.
I watched it. We had last game, the ref assessed the technical against the parents, and we were getting caught. So they must be pushing that more.
USA Hockey gives the referees a lot more power. And then when the fight broke out in the stands, the referees came to game. Wow. That's it. It's over. The team that won. Both sides of the game. But it's like over the final score, whatever was on the board. Wow. What's that? I don't know.
We had a problem out there inside Europe and Maryland. I think Margaret was. We had like an 11 o'clock game, and then the parents tailgated. And then the other games at 5 o'clock. So most of the parents were alcohol fuel. Oh, yeah. I thought it was embarrassing. Security had to be called on.
All right. Yeah, you too. All right, hey, we're here in Richmond, Virginia. We're going to be playing the Richmond Generals here. The ice just got done getting cut. They haven't closed the Zamboni doors yet. We have one referee and one net, and I see the other nets out there. And the kids are dressed up and ready to skate. We're going to be wearing our dark blue jerseys today. Richmond's wearing their home white jerseys. And I am actually on the wrong side of the ice to shoot this. We're on the far side is our bench. And this is a league game for us. Well, the Zamboni doors are closing. The referee is asking the players to take the ice. And there go the boys. So we still have some players missing. We got some injuries, and I'm going to try to figure out who the heck's here and who's not here. And we still haven't got all of our regular season jerseys figured out yet. But the warm-up begins now. All right, that horn is the end of the warm-up. Looks like we only have one referee today. That'll make this a sporty game. Okay, we'll get a starting line for you. They break from the huddle around the net. Like Henry Moose is in net. Starting line: Dylan, Yosef, Z, William, and Chris, William and Danny. Mixing up the defensive pairing there a little bit. Okay, Z's taking the drop here. Yosef on the near side, Dylan on the far side, and Richmond wins a draw. They get back to their defensive zone. Forechecking those, Yosef knocked the puck away, but kicking at it and holding in the zone, now taken away by Richmond. They chip it ahead, crossing the red line, and now trying to enter the zone, and they do. They're offside, though, and that'll stop play. 14:45 to go in the first period. No score on the board. We're going to stay out there for another drop. And controlled by the Patriots. William has to go back and chase after this to fetch it, though, and he does. Now pushes it around the other side to Danny. Danny can't quite handle it. Pushes it ahead to Dylan. Intercepted, though, by Richmond. They're chipping at it in the corner. Now lost it. Chasing after now Z. Big collision. Z goes down, but the puck's stuck to the boards. And now still stuck back there. Now squirts out as a Richmond player sends it on the net. It goes off into the slot. Now under the high slot. Takes a shot. Moose got a big part of that. And now all the way down. It could be icing. And icing's the call. It's going to come all the way back. 14-15 on that stoppage of play. And we're going to get a fresh set of legs out there. So we got Riot, Ellis, Chris, Jackson, and John. John and Chris are set up in the slot. Riot taking the draw. Controlled by Richmond off the draw. Both players go down, no call. Out to the point. They chip it back in deep. Loose puck behind the net. Now chasing after it is Chris. They hammer it around over the far side. Ellis is there. He's going to slow his puck down. Chips it out of the zone. Intercepted at neutral ice there by Richmond. They chip it back towards the blue line and dump it in. They're onside. Puck goes flying around to the far corner and coming out towards the point. Getting added by Ellis. And now Patriots have the puck going the other way. Riot chips it past the D, but they're not playing the puck. They're playing him. Riot gets behind him, and now a big collision. Got a penalty coming. And now touched up by Richmond. I think it's going to be interference is the call on Richmond. Patriots are going to go on a power play. The clock continues to run. Clock! And now the clock stops. Okay, so Ellis, John, Riot are going to stay out there, but now we're swapping out D, so it's Danny and William are out there. Riot is taking the draw. John sets up on a slot. We have a power play for, I guess this is 2 minutes. They haven't got it on the board yet, though. We'll see what they put on the board. I thought USA Hockey said minute 30 penalties, but lately I've been seeing 2-minute penalties on the board. Scorers are still working the clock here. They did put more time back on the clock, so they fixed that. They added 8 seconds back to the clock. And now we got 2-minute penalty. Okay, control by the Patriots. William winds up, takes a shot. Redirected, missed the net to the left. Comes over to the near side. And Richmond's there, but sends it out to Danny. Danny whips it back in. Loose puck now going after it's Riot. Riot's got it on the forehand. Puts the brakes on to get away from that. Sends it into the crease. Knocked away by the defense. Chipping at it, though. Knocks the puck. Riot's got it. So they're trying to wrap it around. Goes to the crease. Loose puck. Riot throws it goes through the slot out towards the point. Danny's going to settle it there. Throws it back in, and John's on there trying to settle the puck. Throws it off the side of the net. It's stuck there, now chipped away by an active stick at the goalie. And now poking at it, trying to get it out of the zone, but Danny's there and flings it back in. Riot's going to go chase after it. Fires the shot on net. Goalie got a piece of that, knocked it down, now picked up by the defense. Forecheck continues for the Patriots, but looks like Richard's going to break the zone. They're short-handed here, going the other way. And they cross the red line, taken away by William. And now William pushes the puck ahead, but intercepted by a Richmond player. Now they're going to be shorthanded, come in the zone. Makes a couple moves, goes into the slot, tries a backhanded shot, but got a piece of that. And now Richmond completes their change. Now Ellison's trying to clear the zone and chopped out of there by William, out to neutral ice, and now settled by Richmond. Richmond's got the puck. They fire across ice to another Richmond player, and they're going to enter the zone. Again, shorthanded here. They fire the shot, goes on to the left of the net, and now it clears out, but didn't quite get a piece of that. Now Richmond's playing keep away at neutral ice, and now we're going to try to enter onside. Chipped at by Johnny, but they come onside. Take a shot on net, miss to the left. Goes over to the far point. Swooping in with Richmond, holds a big collision in the corner. Richmond got to control the puck, and looking for a pass right in front, but Goosens there made a great save and down in the butterfly. Now still shorthanded here for it, and now getting tied up, but no call. And now Richmond's got the puck, still shorthanded, comes into the circle, and now into the slot. Chipped at by the Patriots, trying to clear the zone, now over to the point. We're going to wind up take a shot from there, and kicked away by William. Loose puck now, big collision, and now Richmond sends it out to the high slot. They're going to stop the puck there. 8 seconds left in this power play for the Patriots. We can't even get out of the defensive zone, though. And now Richmond's got it, and now chipped away by William, and now lost the puck, though, in the circle. And now battling for it. They send it on net, and it got redirected off by the defense. They send it into the slot again, this time tipped up and hammered by William and touched by Geffen. Goes all the way down, and we'll see what they call. Icing's the call. Power play is over. 11:29 to go on the clock. Coming all the way back. Fresh legs out there for the Patriots. That power play was all in our defensive zone. Yosef's out there now. Dylan, Z, Jackson, and Chris. And this faceoff's going to come in the near circle. Back to full strength now for Richmond. And controlled by the Patriots, and chipped ahead, but out to their point. He settles the puck, goes off of a couple of players, and now knocked down in the circle. Chris chips it ahead over to Dylan. Dylan's going to try to clear his zone, but can't. Held in by Richmond. Now Richmond's trying to skate, now chipped out by Chris. And no offsides call, but now the puck comes floating out to neutral ice. Chasing after it is Joseph on a forecheck. Richmond's there, but so is Joseph, and they turn around going the other way. And they're going to cross the red line now, trying to get onside. Chipped that and slowed down by Dylan, but they come onside. Takes a shot. Waffling shot knocked away by Z, and now goes out towards the blue line. Richmond's there, and they hold it in, and chipping puck goes into the slot. Now settled by Richmond at the top of the circle, knocked out of there by Joseph. It's a foot race going the other way. Settles the puck, he's got Joseph all over him on a forecheck. They clear the zone. Now the puck's loose. Z's got to get back inside, and he does. Makes a move into the high slot. Close on the backhand, Joseph turned his head to follow the pass, but now taken away by Richmond, going the other way. Richmond flings it all the way down, and now going to get settled by Chris in the defensive zone. Trying to clear the zone, but can't. Richmond holds it in there. Skated away from the puck now. Joseph kicks it ahead to, Jackson kicks it at Joseph. Joseph's got it now, again in the zone. Chipping at him, trying to clear the zone, got speared in the boards, but kept in the zone. And now Jackson's there, and now they're breaking out, going the other way, and it's a foot race. Riot's back on D, and now catching up is Chris. They put him off sides, and we're making some changes. Loose puck now goes back into the offensive zone for the Patriots, but now settled by Richmond. A little bit more than 10 minutes to go in the period. They fired all the way down. This could be icing. Icing's the call. It's going to come all the way back. 10:05 on the clock. First period, no score. Ellis is out there with Riot, John, William, and Danny. Riot's taking the draw. Ellison sets up in the slot. Controlled by the Patriots. Back to William in the high slot. Takes a shot. Redirected off net to the left. Over here to the near side. Riot's there. Throws it. Goes off of the player and goes slowed down behind the net. Now bounces puck goes over the far corner. Williams going to step up. Trying to hold the zone. And now Richmond's there. But now battling for it is Riot tying him up. It's going to be Ellis. And now Richmond's got him. He's sending it across ice to get behind RD a little bit. And it's a foot race. Chasing to catch up is Danny. Trying to slow him down. Took a shot. Missed to the left. Comes over to the far side boards. And Riot's there trying to clear the zone. It does, but it goes right back to the center ice, and Richmond's there. He got poke checked away though, and lost the puck temporarily, but now enters the zone onside, under the circle. Gonna wind up, take a shot, stuck to Henry, and no goal, and that'll stop play. 9:26 to go in the first period. Still no score on the board. And we're gonna make some more changes. Johnny's out there with Zach, Geffen. William and Danny stay out there. Geffen sets up in the slot with William. Zach is taking the draw and controlled by Richmond, but they flung it out of the zone. Now it's going all the way down. It's a foot race. Geffen's on a forecheck, but Richmond gets there first. And Richmond picks it behind the net, but Geffen's there swatting at it. They can't do much with it. Now they're coming out, going the other way. And trying to slow him down is Johnny. He gets past, goes across the red line. Now they're on sides. Going to wind up, takes a shot. Got redirected high and far into the corner. Now it comes out towards the point, but Geffen's there trying to tip it out. Kicked in by Richmond. Goes off of a sweater of a Patriot. And now swatting at it. Now goes into the circle and still knocking it ahead. Now over to Gethin. Gethin clears the zone. Offsides is the call. 8:53 to go in the period. And stoppage of play will result in a neutral zone faceoff for that offsides. We're going to make some more changes out there. Z, Dylan, Yosef, Chris, and Jackson. Z taking a draw. Patriots control over to Yosef. Yosef charging into the offensive zone. Lost the puck on a back check. Now Richmond's got it. They're going to enter the zone. And getting slowed down, though, by Chris. Chris is battling for it, knocks the puck away. Goes out there. Dylan's back there. Knocks the puck loose on a backhand. Still chasing after it. Now puts it on a forehand. Trying to clear the zone. Big collision, but left the zone. Now chasing after it. Z. And knocked away by Richmond, though, just as we try to enter the zone. Now into the zone, but taking control by Richmond. Richmond dumps it back to a trailer and now sends it ahead. And trying to get onside and battling for possession, and we have offsides. 8:24 to go in the first period. Another neutral zone faceoff coming. No change in the line. Z taking the drop. Yosef sets up on the boards. Dylan at center ice. Jackson and Chris back on D. And control by the Patriots. They send it over to Richmond. Richmond's got control of the puck now. Got on the backhand by getting approached by Dylan, swatting at it. Richmond dumps it in. Loose puck now behind the net, chasing after it. Took a funny hop, but Chris settles it. Fires it out towards the point. And Yosef's there battling for it, but so is Richmond. And they're continuing to push the puck in further. Attempts a shot, but went off of somebody or something. Now Dylan's there in the high slot, taken away by Richmond, now into the circle. And now back checked away by Jackson. Jackson's pushing the puck down, getting pushed all the way into the offensive zone. And now the onside, but forecheck continues there by the Patriots. Yosef's down there, but Richard's got control of the puck, and he sends it out towards the point, and Chris has had to give it up and going the other way, and now it's a foot race. They got behind our defense a little bit, throwing all the way down. Icing's the call. It's coming all the way back. 7:42 to go on the first period clock. Icing, and a result in an offensive zone faceoff for the Patriots all the way back in our zone. We got John, Ellis, Riot, Danny, and William. Riot taking the draw. We win the draw. Goes back to Danny. Danny immediately dumps it back in. Goes off of John, but now loose puck controlled by Richmond. Richmond circling at it, trying to clear out, going the other way, and they do. They fire it ahead. Missed the pass, though, going all the way down, but there's a Richmond player down there, and so is William. Chipping at it, trying to get it out of there. William knocked that out loose, and now it's on the forehand. Sends it out to Ellis. Ellis settles it and clears the zone. Now Richmond temporarily at control. Riot's poking at it right in front of their bench now. It's stuck to the boards. Squirts out and now knocked into the offensive zone, but now right back out to neutral ice, and there's a Richmond player there waiting for it and throws it in on a backhand. Loose puck now going in deep behind our net, chasing after Danny's there, and so is the Richmond on a forecheck. It hit the Richmond player. Now he launches it in the air up to John. John's going to be able to settle this. He got a little room. Chips it ahead for Riot. Riot's on a 2-on-1 here going the other way. You got to wait for him to get onside, and he does. Now joined by a couple trailers. Takes a shot. Goalie got a glove on that, but didn't glove it. And now John's got it. Centers it to the high slot. Chipped on it. Goes off the sweater of a defender. And now Richmond's turning around, going the other way. William trying to slow him down. Chopped. Big collision, and puck bounced out of there. Now Richmond back on side, but the puck's in loose on its edge. Danny's going to have to settle this, and he does. And now pushes it ahead, goes out towards the blue line, clears the zone out to the red line, now settled by Richmond. Richmond's got the puck. They fire it ahead. Another Richmond player who settles it and dumps it ahead, and intercepted by Danny, knocked right immediately back out of the zone. Now Richmond circling, coming back the other way, going to get onside here, and hammers a shot, missed to the right. Big ricochet, bounced behind the net, and now the defenseman miscommunicated there and knocked away by Richmond. Rich goes into the corner and now goes into the slot, takes a shot, and Henry was all over that and swallowed it up. No rebound. That'll stop play. 6:07 to go in the period. Still no score on the board. Defensive zone faceoff coming for the Patriots and some fresh legs. Jackson, Johnny, Gethin, Chris, and Zach. Zach is taking the draw. Johnny sets up on the slot with Chris. Controlled by the Patriots, going to go back to get it, and it comes over towards a circle now, knocked away and held in. Now the player went down. It was Zach, who's standing on the puck, chips it ahead, now intercepted by Richmond. And Jackson's there, now they bring it into the bottom of the circle, throws it on a pass over the other side, takes a shot, big rebound, but comes out to the circle, now picked up by Gethin. Gethin loses his edge and forces the puck over the other side. Jackson's there, but so is the forecheck, and now the puck's going to leave the zone, and it's a foot race. And Richmond throws it back in, and they're back on side. I don't know how, but they did. And now Jackson gets there, puts it on a forehand, throws it back towards the point, but held in by Richmond. They bring it into the circle, takes a shot, and Henry saw that, and that'll stop play. 5:30 left to go in the first period. No score on the board. Fresh legs out there. Dylan, Yosef, Z, Jackson, and Chris remain out there for another shift. and controlled by Richmond. They send it out to a point. Immediately takes a shot, redirected, missed the net to the left. Goes ricocheting behind the net, and chasing after. Chris is there, knocks it away. Has it on a forehand, sends it out towards the point, and it touched something, went all the way down. Could go on net, and goalie doesn't. They chips it away. Active stick there, and then Richmond picks up the loose change, but throws a forecheck there. Dillon takes it away. He's got it on a forehand, sends it out to the point. Jackson's there, struggling to hold his own, can't. Now he does, chips it back in, but there's just Richmond players down there. I thought we were breaking out. Fires it all the way down. That's a foot race. This could be icing. Icing's the call. It's coming all the way back. A little less than 5 minutes to go in the period. 4:59 to be precise. We're making some more changes. Danny comes out there with William on D. Yosef, Dylan, and Z. Z taking the draw. Yosef sets up in the high slot. Controlled by Richmond, but comes right back to William. William's trying to hold his own, but can't. Knocked out of there by Richmond. Now it's a foot race going the other way. And they got it behind our D a little. Takes a shot, misses the net to the right, comes over to the near side, out to the point. Richmond chips it back in, bouncing puck loose behind the net. Danny's there, but so is a forecheck of Richmond. Richmond's kicking at it, and so is Danny. And now Richmond has control, but swatting at it. It's the D. They knock it away in the corner. Danny goes and fetches it, pushes it up, but held there along the boards, and now out to the point. Point takes a shot, got ricocheted around in front of the net, knocked away by the defense into the near side corner. Richmond settles the puck there, now has it on the backhand, now a forehand. Pushes it out to the point. Point settles the puck, wind up, takes a shot, redirected, missed the net to the right, goes over, loose puck in the far circle. Richmond's there, and they chip it towards the slot, knocked out of towards the blue line, but not out of the zone. Now out of the zone, and Yosef's there, knocked down by Yosef, goes chasing after, but right there is Richmond. They're battling for the puck. Yosef won that battle, but lost his edge. Now the puck squirts out, and Richmond's there. They fire it out towards the far side point. Williams steps up, chips it back in. Loose puck now settled by Yosef. Tried to center it, but got intercepted by a Richmond defender, and now they fling it out as a knockdown by, we got a high, takes a shot, missed the net, just to the right, got redirected. Now flicked the head towards the blue line by Richmond and tried to clear his own, but Williams there, and they're saying offsides. 3:45 on that stoppage of play. Offsides is the call. Not sure if that was offsides or not, but it was darn close. I'm giving this one referee a break here because he's the only eyes out there. Okay, we got Jackson, Chris, John, Riot, and Ellis, and Richmond won that draw, and now they're trying to cross the red line, but pushing at it and poking at it was the forecheck of the Patriots. And still comes over here at the red line, chipped out by Chris. We got a high stick. High stick's the call. It's going to come back into our offensive zone. The Richmond player just couldn't resist, reached up and touched that puck, and it's coming all the way back in the offensive zone. High sticking. Nobody's going to the box for that. That's just a positional penalty. Puts us in the offensive zone for this face-off. Riot's taking a draw. Ellis sets up in a slot. Controlled by the Patriots. John's there. Takes a shot. Redirected off the net by the goalie, and now backhanded and being forehanded by the Richmond team, and they got it over in the far corner, and they're looking to break out. They send it, bouncing puck goes all the way down. It's a foot race. It looks like Chris is going to get there first. This puck is spinning like a top. Chris settles it, fires it out towards the near side blue line. It hit something weird on the board zone, bounced back towards our net. Now knocked away by Chris. Chris has to go down on his knees to battle for position here, and still chipping at it, and loose puck now behind the net, and now Chris is there to settle with no real pressure from Richmond now, but there's some pressure. Rich fires it out towards the point, and Ellis is there. Ellis now settles the puck, going hard the other way, getting joined by his teammates on a 3-on-2. Comes onside, but now immediately lost the puck and clears the zone. Now we got to get back onside. Chris recognizes that, trying to get us there. Battling for the puck right here at the blue line. Now they chip it ahead, but now back to Jackson. Jackson's going to go settle this puck in our defensive zone. Sends it out to the red line, but intercepted by a stick of a Richmond player. Now they're scattling, trying to get back in, but now intercepted and fired out of the zone by the Patriots, and now Richmond's offside. 2:30 to go in the first period. Still no score on the board. Another neutral zone faceoff coming. Johnny's out there now. Danny, William, Zach, and Gethin. Richmond wins the draw and immediately charge into the zone, but contested as they enter. Now into the high slot, over to the circle. Takes a shot, hit the bar, no goal. Comes over to the near side, and now pushed back towards our own. Williams got it now, settle on it, and got some room here, looking for a pass. Fires it high, cleared the zone. Could be icing, but it lost its energy, and now getting chased after, and Richmond's going to get there. No icing is called. I guess they say and gave up on it. Now Gethin's there on a forecheck, banging on him, and knocked away by Johnny. Puck's loose on the far side. Now chasing after it's Richmond, and they get to it. And now they're looking to break out, going the other way. And swatting at it was a defense, but couldn't do anything to slow him down. Now comes in, has him on a forehand, winds up, got knocked away by Danny. Nice defensive stop there. Chipped it over here to the near side, coming out towards the blue line, but not out of the zone. Chopping at it with Johnny, but now pushing it, clears the zone, hits Gethin as it was leaving the zone. Now settled by Richmond, now they're back in the zone. Now handled by, I guess that's Gethin. And now excuse me, it's Zach. And now bouncing puck comes out of the zone over to Zach. Zach chips it ahead to Gethin. Now Gethin's on a 1-on-2. He's going to wind up taking a shot. Goalie redirect that far away into the corner. A little less than 2 minutes to go in the period. Pushes it out. Gethin's there, stops it. Fires a shot. Hits the net to the right. Comes over to the near side. Chasing after it is Richmond. So is Joseph. Joseph's out there now. We made a change while that puck was in the offensive zone. Now comes out to the point. It's cleared out of there by Richmond. And now Williams trying to get back to slow him down. And goes and fetches his puck and sends it ahead to Gethin. Big collision. Goes in the offensive zone. And we got a whistle coming. Tripping is the call. I'm going to assume this is on Richmond. It is. They're going to the box. 2-minute penalty. Minute 24 to go in the period. Patriots on a power play. We got Z, Dylan, Joseph, Chris, and Jackson. And controlled by the Patriots. Dylan's got it. Sends it back to Jackson. Jackson's got to do something quick. Goes off of a Richmond play. Takes a shot. Misses to the right. Comes over to the near side. Chasing after it's Joseph. Joseph gets there. Makes a move to get away from that back check. Throws it into the slot. Nobody touches it though. Goes over to the far side. Swooping in is Jackson trying to hold his zone but can't. Now Z's got to take it out of the zone and play keep away. Get us back on side. Sends it over to the near side. But Dylan's there. Chips at it. Swats at it. Sends it ahead to Joseph. Joseph chops it into the offensive zone. Chasing after now on a forecheck. Richmond's there, but so is Joseph. Joseph goes down, controlled by Richmond. Now they bring it into the circle. Chip that by Z, and it clears the zone, going out the other way. Now chasing after Jackson's there. Going to settle this, pushes it back towards the red line. And now Richmond's got it, but they're offside. And they're trying to get back onside, and they do. They send it ahead to Dylan. Power play continues for Patriots. Another 40 seconds left in this period. Sends over Joseph. Joseph sends it back to Dylan. Dylan shoots. Big rebound. Goes over to the far side. Dylan retrieves his own rebound. Sends it back to the point. Jackson flings it towards the net. Knocked down by the glove of Richmond player. Now they're going the other way, short-handed. 27 seconds left in the period, and lost the puck at the end of their zone, but they're onside. Takes a shot, missed the net to the right, comes out towards the far point. Going after this is Z, got some speed on, chips it ahead for Joseph. Joseph's on a 1-on-1, going to turn it into a 1-on-2. Fires a shot, misses high into the left, over to here on the near side. Now approaching on a forecheck is Dylan, but can't do anything with it. Richmond missed that pass at the player's skate in the back, and now they're going to come onside. Short-handed here, another 4.7 seconds left in the period. Takes a shot on goal. Henry got a big piece of that, comes over though, and that'll be the end of the period. We're in a power play for another 35 seconds to start the second period. So after one period of play, the score is 0-0. And first intermission is going to start now. So the first intermission is coming to an end. We only have one referee out there, so this guy's working overtime. We're going to be defending the left side of the screen for the second period. Henry Moose still in net for us. Back there to start, Langston, William on D. We've got John, Riot, and Ellis. That horn is the end of the intermission. Second period getting ready to start. Riot taking the face-off. Ellis on the near side, John on the far side. Langston and William back on D. No score on the board. Second period starts now, and Richmond controls the draw, but forecheck there by Ellis. Throws a backhand, missed the net, chipped away by the goalie. Now he fires out, touched up by John, and now they're trying to clear his zone, but stuck to the boards, and now flung it back into the circle, and now on a forecheck as John comes out to the point. Williams there, takes a shot, big rebound, comes ricocheting out back to their circle, and just Richmond there, and now they're skating where they're going the other way. And now catching up is our rest of our team, knocked away by Riot on a nice back check there. Cleared the zone, no, they're saying onside. I don't know about that, but big shot, our goal, but Henry got a big piece of that. Now settled by Ellis going the other way. Ellis fires ahead, going behind him, but we're onside. Now forecheck continues, but they fired all the way down towards the red line. And now we're back to even strength. And Williams there battling, got behind William a little bit. Takes a shot. Henry got a big piece of that, goes in the far corner, and now puck's coming out towards the blue line. Richmond fires a shot. Henry had to go down and knock that away as well. Now Richmond's got it, puts it, gonna bring it into the, takes a shot on the slot, takes another shot, loose puck in front of the net, and now they got a whistle. No goal. Fast and furious down there, but the referee was watching the net and didn't go in. The puck was not covered, but they blew it dead nonetheless. 13:58 to go in the second period. Got the fresh legs out there. Jackson, Danny, Zach, Dakota, and Nico. And controlled by the Patriots, back to Jackson. Fires it in, but hit a Richmond player. Now controlled by Richmond out to their point, who comes in deep to play this. Battling for it, comes into the circle, knocked out to the blue line and cleared the zone out the other way. Dakota's on a forecheck here and tried to touch it up, but pushed back into our defensive zone, and now Danny's going to have to go play this. Flings it up, but knocked down by Zach. Zach fires out, it could be icing. It's going to go all the way down. He took a weird angle, and now it's going to be icing. Coming all the way back, 13:34 in the second period. Icing's the call. Coming all the way back in the defensive zone. No changing the players out there. So Zach, Danny, Jackson, Dakota, and Nico. Zach taking the draw. Nico sets up in the slot with Jackson. And controlled by Richmond. Richmond's pushing it back deeper. Now they send it out to the high slot. Got the player. Takes a shot. Missed the net to the right. Now knocked away by Danny out towards the point. Dakota's there poking at it, trying to clear it out. They chipped it back in deep. Danny's going to go fetch this. Got a forecheck around him, though. Sends it up to Dakota. Dakota's stuck to the boards there, and he's battling for it. Now squirts out. They send it through the slot over to the near side. There was nobody there and touched it. Now picked up by Richmond. They push it down behind the net. Danny sees it loose and goes and gets it. Sends it ahead to Dakota. Dakota sends it down and can ice this puck. It's going all the way down. There's got enough energy on it. Icing's the call. It's coming all the way back. And we're going to make some changes. Get some fresh legs out there. Complete change for us. Now we got Chris and Cohen on D. Z, Gethin, and Johnny. Z is taking this draw. Cohen and Gethin set up in the slot. Johnny against the board. And controlled by the Patriots. And Cohen's got it, skating with it behind our net. Now looking for a pass. Winds up, sends it ahead to Gethin. Gethin swats at it, clears the zone, and now trying to continue that is Z. Now dumped ahead and back into our defensive zone, but Chris is there. Got a forecheck around him, fires out towards the blue line, puts Richmond offside. They recognize that, trying to get back onside, and they do. Now Richmond's got it, throwing on the backhand, missed the net to the left, redirected away by the Patriots, but now settled by loose puck now, and chasing after it. Z's got it, puts the brakes on to get away from that forechecker, and now looking for a pass, fires it up the glass towards the blue line. There, Richmond's there and holds the zone. Bouncing puck comes into the circle. Down to the top of the circle, now going the other way is Gethin, and getting attacked by Richmond, and now the puck comes back to Chris. Chris settles it there, pushes it past the red line up for Z, but there's a Richmond player there. Now they throw it ahead into our defensive zone, chasing after it's Cohen. Got to settle a bouncing puck. He does. Looking for a pass now. Pushes it over here to the near side blue line. Cleared the zone out to Gethin. Gethin had to wait for the puck, but now has it. Goes onside. Dumps it in and now chases after. Loose puck goes over to the far side. Z's down there. Picks up the puck. Ships it in again. Deep behind the net. And now Richmond's got it. Lost the puck though. Gethin's got it on the backhand. Comes over to the side of the net. Now taken away by Richmond. Going the other way. Richmond enters the neutral zone and skating hard. Puts some speed on. Gets behind our D a little bit. And brings it on the net. Takes a backhand. Scores. And that puts the score 1-0 Richmond with 11:41 to go in the second period. Richmond scores first. Okay, to start, we got Dylan, Riot, Yosef, Langston, and William. And stymied down the faceoff, controlled by Richmond. Richmond's got control of the puck. They send over here to the near side. And now crossing the red line, trying to catch up. Swatting at it is the Patriots trying to keep him knocked away. Nice back check there. And now continued by Yosef. Yosef pushing to clear it and fires it all the way down, saying no icing. He touched it, going all the way down. Puck's loose behind their net. Approaching on a forecheck is Riot. Lost the puck, comes out towards the point. And Richmond has it. They send it out to the red line. Kicked out by William, but now banging at it with Richmond, and they push it ahead. Goes off of William now. Sticks to the boards, and now comes into our defensive zone. Langston's there. Fires this out towards the blue line. Hit a bunch of things and goes all the way down. It could be on net. Now the goalie's going to push it away into the corner. And now Yosef's there on a forecheck. And battling for the puck. Skirts out. Riot stepped up. Couldn't do much with it. We made some... fires it all the way ahead. Knocked down by William. William's got it on the backhand. Sends it ahead. Intercepted by Richmond, though. And now Richmond's onside. They try to clear it in. It goes into the slot. knocked away by Langston. Now loose puck behind the net. Langston tries to fire it down, but it goes into the back of the net, and now comes over to the near side. Richmond's got it, whiffs on a pass, so now the defender went in deep, and now brings it in the top of the circle. Down to the slot, takes a shot, got redirected off net, and now settled by Richmond. Poking at it, goes into the slot again on the bottom of the circle, ricocheting around in there, and now, I guess, Henry gloved it. I never saw it come off the ice, but he gloved it, and that'll stop play. 10:30 to go. Both teams making changes here. Patriots are down by a goal, second period. Danny, Ellis, Jackson, Zach, and John. Zach taking the draw. Danny and John are set up in the slot. And controlled by Richmond. And now Ellis takes it away, pushes it ahead to Zach. Zach's trying to clear out. Got touched up by a back check, though. And now Richmond's got it going the other way at the red line. Putting some speed on. Hammers a shot. And Moose got a big piece of that. Knocked it over to the near side. Ellis pushed it back to the point. And now they got it in the circle. Still battling for it now. Comes back towards the blue line. And Ellis is tying him up, and now the puck squirts on the top of the circle, handled by Richmond, towards the slot, knocked away by Danny, over to Zach, and now Zach skating, going to break the zone, going the other way, and crosses the red line, takes a shot from a mile out, missed the net to the left, but a big rebound now behind the net, and approached by Richmond, they chip it around, coming out towards the far blue line. John's trying to catch up, and now going to break out here, and swatting at it, got past Danny, and now chasing is Jackson. Jackson's got it, circles on it, brings it through the near circle, pushed it out toward the blue line, but it's not going to clear the zone. Now aided by Ellis, it does clear the zone out towards the red line and now settled by Richmond. Richmond fires it across ice, and the Richmond player waiting there. And now they enter the zone, chipped at by Danny. Now Richmond is offsides. 9:29 go in the second period. Richmond is up 1-0. Fresh legs out there for both teams. Chris, Cohen, Z, Nico, and Dakota. And Richmond won the draw, but they put themselves off sides. And then we'll come back to another neutral zone faceoff. 9:25 to go in the second period. Controlled by Richmond, and they enter the zone, but clear the zone, and now they get it back inside, and they do, and they dump it in on the backhand. The loose puck behind the net. Chris is down there, settles the puck. Got it on the forehand, chips it ahead for Dakota. Dakota slopes down, chips it out of the zone, but hands it right back to Richmond. Now chipping at it was Nico, but taken away by Richmond. Richmond sends it ahead, back into our defensive zone, chasing after both teams. And Chris is going to get there first, but he got a forechecker all over him. Puts some brakes on to do it. Fires it up to Dakota. Can't close the zone now. Rick staying around there in the top of the circle, handled by Richmond. Now into the high slot. Now into the near circle. Now back into the slot. And chipped at by Nico back towards the point and clears the zone by Dakota's stick. But now settled by Richmond. Richmond gets back on side and puts some speed on, enters the zone. Makes a move in the top of the circle, and no tripping, lost the puck in the slot, now goes back to the circle. Takes a shot, redirected, but missed the net to left. Come over to the near side. Cohen's there, fires it ahead for Nico, but he couldn't make the connection. Now settled by Chris. Chris fires it across, touched up by Richmond, goes into our offensive zone, but Richmond's down there in the forecheck at Dakota and Nico, right on his tail. Makes a move to get away from Dakota, and now trying to get hold of it. Dakota's still battling for the puck now. Dakota lost his edge, and now picked up by Nico. We got a whistle. Hand pass is the call. And we'll see where this, he's pointing out of the zone, so I assume it's going to be in neutral ice. Yeah, we're seeing the blue line. I guess we're the ones that hand passed it. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so we got Johnny, Gethin, Riot, and now it goes over to Langston. Langston fires over William. William just pushed it ahead with the skate to Gethin. Gethin dumps it in, and could be icing. Or wave the icing, going all the way down. Loose puck behind the net. Johnny's on a forecheck. Richard's got the puck. They fired it up towards the blue line. Intercepted by Riot. Riot throws it towards the net, but knocked away. William can't quite hold his own. Now trying to catch up here. And Richmond got behind our D. Sends it into the slot. Knocked away by a defensive stick. Nice job there by Patriots. Comes into the circle. Now Williams got it going the other way. Pushed it over and got intercepted by Richmond, though, and now goes back behind our net. Riot's there. You're going to settle the puck. Chips it all the way over to the blue line, and Richmond's there waiting for it. You're going to wind up taking a shot from there. Redirected and hit a couple players, but now goes on the side of the net. It comes over to the near side, intercepted by Gethin. Gethin skating now sends it ahead. William lost his edge trying to handle that pass and goes down, slow to get up, but he's back up. And now Richmond whiffs on the pass. Johnny takes a shot. Missed the net to the left. Comes over to the near side. Gethin's on a forecheck. Comes out to the point. William hammers it. Going to take takes a shot. Gloved by the goalie. Loose puck. Now let us stop play. William was getting no harassment there and brought the puck to the top of the circle to get a closer shot. And eventually took the shot, but the goalie gloved it, and that'll stop play. 7:03 to go. We got a clock still running. And the clock is now stopped. And I don't know if they're going to adjust that or not, but about 10 seconds, they fixed the clock. Okay, Z, Yosef, Dylan, Jackson, and Danny, controlled by Richmond. Chip back in, and loose puck now in the circle. Go back for it. Yosef's got some sticks on it, knocks out there by Richmond, coming the other way. And Jackson and Danny are trying to slow him down. Danny's poking at it right at the end of the zone. Now cleared out by Danny. That puts Richmond offside. Richmond retrieves the puck, though, gets back onside. Makes some moves, though, brings him in the slot. Takes a shot, goes off of Z. Now takes another shot, goes off the, missed the net to the left. Now comes off into the crease, and now Yosef's there. No pressure there by Richmond. He's going to skate with it a bit. Chips it ahead to himself, and couldn't quite handle it. Now settled by Richmond at the red line. And swatting at it. And the Patriots now, Richmond comes back outside. Takes a shot. Glove blocked away by Moose over here to the near side. Chips at it, comes out, clears the zone, going all the way down, and could be icing. Icing's the call. It's going to come all the way back. 6:19 to go in the period. We're going to make some changes. Coming on the ice now is Riot, Ellis, John, Chris, and Cohen. Patriots are down by 1 goal. Second period. Ellis sets up here against the boards. Riot's taking a draw. John sets up in a slot with Chris. Now controlled by Richmond. Richmond dumps it into Cohen, intercepted it, throws it over to the far side boards. And chasing after it. Richmond's there. They throw it on net, misses the net to the right, comes over here to the near side, coming up towards the point. And Ellis is there, battling for it, poking away by a back check though, and now pushed ahead by Riot. We're offside. I don't know what happened. John got tied up on the far side and fell down and slid into the offensive zone, and that was the reason for the offsides. So back to neutralize. 6:03 to go in the period. Riot taking this draw. Ellis along the boards. John at center ice. Controlled by Richmond. Richmond's got it in our offensive zone. Ellis tried to hold his own but couldn't. Down poking at it was dumped back in. We're onside. And now loose puck can get fetched by Richmond. Richmond's got it behind their net, but a forecheck at John is there. Airmails this thing out to the blue line and clears the zone. Chipped at by Cohen. Slows him down but not stopping them. Back towards the red line. Loose puck at neutral ice. Settled by Richmond. Richmond's trying to get on the backhand, trying to push it up the boards, being slowed down by Ellis. Fires it over to the far side. Richmond's onside, but now approaching is Chris on a toppling puck. Chipped ahead and settled there by Richmond. They dump it back into the defensive zone for the Patriots, and chasing after it is Cohen. Cohen gets there first and now skating with it, trying to get away, but Richmond comes in and forechecks it away from him. And now centers it, and now knocked away by Riot. Big collision, and now Riot fires it over the far side. John's over there, but so is Richmond. And bouncing puck, and now he clears the zone. Could be icing, going all the way down. Took a weird angle though, might not be icing. Icing's the call, coming all the way back. 5:07, icing, second period. Patriots are down by a goal. William and Langston are out there. Geffen, Zach, and Johnny. Geffen sets up in a slot with Langston. Zach is taking a draw. Johnny's against the boards. And controlled by Richmond. And they've got to send it out to the point. He's going to wind up and send it over here to the near point. Hammers a one-timer, misses it though. It goes over here to the circle, chipped out of there, and now going the other way is Geffen. Geffen making some moves to get away from that back check. And now he's going to enter the zone, but taken away immediately by Richmond. And now Richmond sends it ahead, but intercepted by William in our defensive zone. And chips it into neutral ice, intercepted by Richmond. Richmond gets back on side. We lost our stick there, and now comes over to the far side, missed that pass, thank goodness. And now comes out to the point. Richmond's there, going to push it into the high slot. Now kick that, and William goes down, trying to get out of the zone. Hacked at by Johnny. We got a slash coming, and now delayed penalty on the Patriots. Kicked out of the zone by Geffen. Slashing's the call on Johnny. That's going to put us in a penalty kill for 2 minutes. 4:26 to go on that stoppage of play. William and Langston stay out there. No, we're going to make some changes. So, complete change. So we got Danny, Jackson, Nico, and Dakota to kill this. Nico's going to take the draw. Dakota and Danny set up in the slot. We're in a penalty kill for 2 minutes. And controlled by Richmond, sends it out to the point. He's going to wind up taking a shot from the top of the circle. And Henry saw that and swallowed it up. No rebound. That'll stop the clock. 4:21. Another defensive zone faceoff coming. 5 seconds ticked off that penalty kill. And controlled by the Patriots. Now Jackson got it. Went off the stick of a Richmond player. Back towards the point, but stuck on the boards there. Now battling for it. And still battling for it. Puck squirts out. Now Richmond's got it. Bringing it into the circle. And takes a shot. Got redirected off the net by Danny's stick there. Went off Danny's skate that time. Now Dakota chips it back towards the blue line. And clears the zone. Chases after a shorthanded going the other way. Dakota puts some speed on. Got behind the D a little bit. Now he's got a chance to attack the net. Shoots. Knocked the goalie down. Where's the puck? No goal. He saved that and landed on his back. And no goal. Short-handed opportunity there for Dakota and the Patriots. We have another minute 36 and it's killed 4:03 in the period. And now Z's out there with John, Jackson, and Chris, controlled by Richmond, coming the other way, trying to clear the zone, and now they're trying to get back on D. And they enter the zone onside. Poking at it, Jackson though, now kicking at it, knocked away by Richmond. Richmond shovels it towards the net. And still battling for it. Now it has to go down the butterfly. Jackson comes out of there to clear it out. And getting back checked though. And now boat goes down, but the puck's stuck on the boards. Comes out to the blue line. Can't hold the zone. Going the other way. And I can't tell you how fast it's going because it's out of sight of the camera. But no icing. They throw it back towards the blue line. There's a Richmond player there to settle it. But Jackson's in deep on a forecheck. Come back towards the red line. Still a minute left in this penalty kill. And Richmond gets back on side. Sends it across the other side. Go wide up. Takes a shot. Missed the net. High to the right. Now comes out here to the near blue line, but they're going deep to hold it in. Battling for it now. The puck squirts out in the corner now. Still loose down there. Kicking at it and pushing it farther back. Now settled by Danny. Danny puts it on a forehand. Fires out towards the blue line. Took a weird hop off the boards. Shot hammered by Richmond. Comes over here to the near side. Missed high. Comes out towards the near side boards. And now battling for it. Z's there. Still battling for it. Now it squirts out. Z puts it on backhand. Pushes it towards the blue line. Nobody there but Richmond. They're going to settle this. Kick it back in. And now loose puck behind the net. Richard's there on a forehand. Centers it, but the hit went off of Danny. Now goes to the side, takes a shot. The butterfly stopped that. Now kicking at it, trying to get out of there is John. Over to Z. Still 17 seconds left, short-handed, trying to clear the zone. Pushes it over, goes off of a Richmond player. Now Jackson's got it, dumps it in, no icing. Puck's in deep, and we're going to make some changes. 7 seconds left in this penalty kill. Richmond now gets to the puck. Fire over the near side. We're out of position. Richmond's charging, trying to get onside, and they are. And now has it, fires it over here. He took a weird hop off the side of it, not played by Henry. Now settled by Richmond. They dump it out behind the net and get to go fetch this is Chris. Chris fires it over to the other point. And out of the box now, Riot comes in, tries to play that, but Richmond's got control of it at the red line. This puck goes a mile in the air and now knocked in, we're saying hand pass right at the blue line. It's going to come out of the zone. 2:09 on that stoppage of play. More neutral zone face-off on the hand pass. Fresh legs out there for Patriots. We got Cohen, Chris, Riot, Dylan, and Yosef. Riot's taking the draw. Dylan in center ice. Yosef against the boards and controlled by Richmond back to the red line. Skating with it. They fired across ice. Chipped out by Dylan. Right at the blue line. Puts right still stuck there. Now against the board. Back a little bit towards the red line. Now controlled by no one. And now hits a Richmond player trying to enter the zone. Now in the zone, but Chris is there and flicks it out. And Richmond holds it in though. Now settled by Cohen. Cohen's going to skate with it a bit and got a forecheck approaching though. Fires it off the boards here to the near side. Ricochets out and intercepted by Richmond. They dump it back in. Loose puck now behind the net. Chasing afterwards. Chris gets there. Puts the brakes on to get away from a forecheck. Got another forecheck on him. Pushes it ahead. Goes down and over to Riot. Riot's making some move trying to close the zone, but Richmond's there. Had to slow down to go get the puck, but fires it across ice to the other side. Now picked up by Richmond. Pushes it ahead and into our defensive zone. Settled by Chris. Chris fires it out. Touched up by Riot, but intercepted by Richmond. Now back towards our zone, but now settled loose. Dylan's got it. Shovels it in. Intercepted right at the blue line. Chipped at by Riot. Riot got behind the D. Now skating hard. Puts some moves on. Sends it to the slot. Can't handle the pass. Over to Chris. Chris fires a shot. Knocked away by Richmond. Now the closeout is going to be icing. Going all the way down. And icing's the call. It's going to come all the way back. 1:02 to go on the clock. Back in the offensive zone for the Patriots.
You guys can't be up here. Because these guys leave. We get kicked out of here, so you guys gotta leave. Sorry guys, but we get kicked out of here. You guys are up here. Thank you.
Okay, we got William, Langston, Yosef. Can't tell you, Riot and Dylan. And now controlled by Richmond. Richmond's even strength now. And William chips it ahead, and now over to dumped in by Dylan. Loose puck now behind the net. And comes over to the near side, chasing after Riot. Riot's there, pushes it back behind the net. But there's Richmond there, and they pick up the puck. Forecheck by Dylan, can't do much with it. Now Richmond pushes it out to the top of the circle and up the ice. Could be icing. Saying he touched it, no icing, going all the way down. And now picked up by Richmond behind our net. Chipped away by Langston. Comes over the inner side boards. And swooping in is Riot. Riot shovels it ahead towards the blue line. Held in by Richmond. Richmond makes some moves to get away from our Legend of Whiteout. Takes a shot. Centering pass. Knocked away on a one-timer. Now smears it into the boards. And now chipped away by William. Goes over to the far side. Picked up by Richmond. Richmond fires over into the high slot. Settled there. 20 seconds to play. Takes a shot. Goes off of something. And now knocked away. And back towards the top of the circle on the far side. Takes another shot. Goes off something into the far corner. Now back towards the point. Can't hold his own. Now it's a loose puck on its edge. And now chip back in. And we're saying offsides. And pointing to the other blue line. 7.2 seconds left in the period. This faceoff is going to come at our offensive blue line. And we got Dakota, Nico, Zach, Danny, and Cohen. Zach is taking the draw. Nico sets up in the center. And controlled by Richmond. Chipping at it though, and now knocked away by Richmond back in our defensive zone. Danny's there. Slots that, trying to clear it out, but can't. Gets behind our D. And that'll shot on goal there. Moose went down on the butterfly, knocked it off net, and that horn is the end of the period. After 2 periods of play, the score is 1-0 Richmond. Second intermission starts now. Is the end of the second intermission. We have a 1-goal game here. Richmond is up 1-0. Start of the third period coming up. We're going to be defending the right side of the screen for this period. Henry is still in net. We've got Nico, Zach, and Dakota. And a little confusion on who's playing defense. Nobody's out there. Danny comes out there. And joining him is Jackson. Zach is taking the draw. Nico's on the far side of the circle. Dakota on the near side. Controlled by Richmond back to their defense. Now they're coming across it. Jump it ahead. Comes into our defensive zone. Chasing after it is Danny. Danny's going to get there first. We got a forechecker all over him. Chips it up here to Dakota. Bouncing puck right at the... Stuck to the boards there a little bit. Knocked into the circle, not into the slot. Chipped out by Jackson. Clears his zone over to Nico. Nico skating with it now. Got attacked though by a Richmond player and has to dump it in and chase after it. And now Richmond's got it on a forehand behind their own net. Forecheck's coming in. Swatted at by... Zach sends it in the slot, but it's just Richmond players there now going the other way. Richmond fires it ahead. Touched by a Richmond player, and icing's the call. Coming all the way back. 14:27 to go in the period. Icing, and resulting in an offensive zone face-off for the Patriots. Joseph's out there with Z and Dylan. Jackson and Danny remain on defense. Drop's going to come in the far circle. Z is taking the draw. Dylan sets up against the board. Joseph's in the high slot. And controlled by Richmond. Richmond's going to try to clear the zone here. They fire it over to the near side, handle there, and they fire it out of the zone, and now tied up there a little bit by Jackson going all the way down. Jackson's going to get there first, but he got a forecheck on him. Flicks it back towards the blue line. Knocked out of there. Z's going to handle the puck in the high slot. Put the brakes on to get away from that Richmond player. Now over to Dylan. Dylan takes a shot from outside the zone. Goalie had to go down and cover that. Now chips it away, and now picked up by a Richmond player, and now chasing after is Joseph, but now Richmond's got some speed on it, going the other way. And crosses the red line, and now looking to come onside, and they do, and no, offsides. Far side. Took a step off the blue line, and now offside's the call. 13:58 to go in the period. We're going to make some changes. We got Chris and Cohen out there on D. Dylan, Joseph, and Z remain on the ice. Z talking to Dylan there, and now takes a draw. And goes down, and now controlled by Richmond. Richmond gets on side, but now taken away on a back check by Joseph. Touched the Richmond player on the way down there, so no icing. Flat icing's the call. And coming all the way back. Again, they only have one referee out there. He's not making all the calls because he can't see everything. He's been calling a pretty good game, though. And Going to come back in our defensive zone, that icing call. Chris, Cohen, Ellis, Riot, John. Riot taking the draw. John sets up in the slot. Controlled by Richmond off the draw. They have it in the circle. Now poked away and going to clear the zone. Out to neutralize, settled by Richmond there at the red line. Now skating with it and looking for a pass. The forecheck of John all in his face. Gets it over here, chipped that by Riot. Riot's going to bring the puck in onside, makes a move into the slot. Taken away, but overdue. Ellis got a penalty coming. Takes a shot, scores! I think Riot's going to get the assist on that. Ellis gets the goal. There was a penalty coming on a trip on Riot. He got rid of the puck though, and Patriots score. Tied to score. 13:26 to go in the third period. Good persistent attack there, paid off for the Patriots and tied the game. They're going to get rewarded with more ice time. That line's going to stay out there again. Riot, John, and Ellis. Puck comes over here the near side. Chris is going to go fetch it and pushes it ahead and goes high off the boards. No high sticking there. But now chipped at, and Chris is battling for it, and so is Richmond. Now they're going to enter the zone. Knocked away as they enter the zone, though. Ellis got it. Makes some moves to get away from that back check. Fires a shot, goes off of a sweater of a defender over here at the bottom of the circle. Now loose puck, John's there. John goes down, but no call. Now loose puck behind the net, controlled by Richmond. They fire it over to the other point, and Cohen slides over there, knocks it, but got touched up by Richmond. Richmond clears zone, and Chris swatted at it, but couldn't get enough on it. Now Richmond's onside, and Chris is going to chase here, but knocks the puck away and ties him up in a corner. And the rest of the team can join him on defense. Puck squirts out behind the net. Intercepted by Riot as they try to center it. Riot clears the puck, could go all the way down and on net. Now the puck took a weird angle, spinning like a top, and went into the corner. So icing's the call. It's coming all the way back. 12:37 to go on that stoppage of play. Gethin, Johnny, Zach. Gethin and William. Zach is going to take this draw. Gethin sets up in the slot. Johnny against the boards, and Langston's in front of the crease. Controlled by Richmond, sends it back to their point. Can't hold the zone. No, they did. Okay, and they hold it in now. Approaching as a back check though, and now pushing it out, but can't clear the zone. Bouncing puck. Williams got it. Sends it out of the zone, but handled by Richmond at neutral ice. And Zach's there on a forecheck, and so does Johnny. Now picked that by Richmond. Comes into the zone, and now into the slide. Got on the backhand. Now looking for a pass. Langston's there to slow that down. It comes over to the near side, and now Zach's there, shovels it on the backhand towards the point, and Johnny approaches, and they kick it back in deep. And the puck's loose now, smears him into the boards. Langston goes and gets this on a forehand, but he's got a forechecker right behind him. And now lost the puck though. William goes and fetches it. Sends it off of players there, and now comes out to the point. Gethin's there. He's going to clear the zone. Sends it across ice, streaking Zach, and got taken away on the back check by Richmond. Richmond's now skating through neutral ice, trying to go the other way and get onside. And now they enter the zone, and poking at it's William and Langston. William sends it over to Gethin. Gethin pushes it to Langston. Langston battling for Gethin, and now they enter the zone, and now gets behind the D, but he goes down. We have a penalty coming. And tripping's the call. I'm going to assume this is on Richmond. Yeah, Richmond's going to take a penalty here. 11:34 to go in the third period. Power play opportunity for the Patriots. And to get this power play goal going, we got Dylan, Z, Yosef, Danny, and Jackson, controlled by Richmond off the draw. Now they send it back into the bottom of the circle. Richmond still has control, but Z's on a forecheck though, and battling now. He has to play keep away in a corner. Z's still battling for it now. Richmond now approaching as Yosef, knocked down. We have a high stick. Now he waves it off. Now a loose puck comes into the near corner, and chasing after Richmond's got it now, trying to break his own short-handed, going the other way. And approaching is Danny, sends it over to another Richmond player, and Jackson kind of slowing down. The momentum of the puck brings it over to the far corner. They take a shot. Coming out towards the far boards. Big collision. Puck goes in deep now, and stuck down there in the corner. Now comes towards the net, tries to go on net, now flung over here to the near side. And Patriots are still in a power play, but Richmond's holding the zone. Goes off a couple players into the slot, loose puck, poking at his Yosef, now going the other way. Yosef left the puck in the defensive zone, chipping at it. Big collision, but he cleared the zone. Now they send it back into their defensive zone, and now they settle the puck. We're making some changes out there. And they fire the puck ahead and down. Now slowed down there by Richmond. Richmond's back on side. Short-handed, takes a shot, score! Short-handed goal for Richmond. 10:36 to go in the period. And back to the center ice. We have another minute, 1 second to go in the Patriot power play, but gave up a short-handed goal there. Cohen, Chris, Dakota, Riot, and Ellis. And controlled by Richmond. Picked up by Dakota. Dakota brings it in the zone. Sends it on net. The goalie's there. Going to cover this, and that'll stop play. 55 seconds left in the power play for the Patriots. Offensive zone faceoff coming. Riot taking this draw. Dakota's on the boards. Ellis is in the slot. Cohen and Chris back on D. Controlled by Richmond. Goes loose puck though in the slot. Still loose. And now it comes out to the point. Chipped that by Danny. Held his zone, but now loose puck. Dakota steps up. Throws it over to Ellis, but can't make the connection. Goes over to the far corner. Ellis is there. Fires it through the crease. Comes over. No getting touched by anybody. Bounces back towards the blue line. Back to Chris. Chris winds up. Takes a shot. Missed the net to the right. Over to the far side. Ellis is there. Going to settle this puck. Chips at it, throws it through the crease, but there's nobody there. Dakota goes and fetches it on the near side. Sends it towards the crease. Knocked away by Richmond. Held the zone. Chris, good job there. Throws it in. Now hand pass down by Richmond, and Dakota's zone could be icing. And icing's the call. Coming all the way back. 21 seconds left in the power play for the Patriots. The score is 2-1 Richmond. 9:56 to go in the third period. Patriots power play for another 21 seconds. They're going to stay out there for another shift. The defense swapped out. We have William and Langston. Riot taking the draw. Ellis sets up in the slot. Dakota against the boards. Controlled by Patriots back to William. William's got to set up his puck. Trying to make a pass over to Langston and can't. And now intercepted by Richmond. Short-handed going the other way. Another 14 seconds. And got William knocked the puck off. And now goes and pushes it around. But there's a Richmond player down there waiting for it. Big collision in the corner. Langston ties him up. And now picked up by Riot. Comes over to the near side, chasing after it is William, but it's head on by Richmond. Now over to Riot. Riot's trying to clear his zone. Sends it ahead to Ellis. Clears the zone, but out to neutral ice. Now chasing after it is Ellis, but so is the Richmond player. Richmond's back to full strength. Now loose puck at the red line and battling for it. Kicked ahead. Still battling for it. Now Ellis lost his stick. We got a slash. Richmond knew it was on them right away. They dove into the penalty box. So slashing on Richmond, another power play. 9:17 to go in the period. Patriot power play for the next 2 minutes. Zach, Nico, John in the slot. William and Langston back on D. And Richmond's making some changes. They got too many players on the ice now. They figured that out. They're going to get that sorted. Here comes the drop. And controlled by Richmond behind their own net. Here comes the forecheck of John, though. And made a move, got away from that forecheck. Made another move, got away from Zach. And going the other way short-handed. Crosses the red line. And can't quite. And now got behind our D. And now he's got a wide open. And now Moose covers that. What a great save there. Short-handed opportunity for Richmond. No goal. 9:02. A 1:44 to go in the power play for the Patriots in our defensive zone. Jackson and Danny out there on D. We got Z, Dylan, and Yosef. Yosef and Danny are in the slot. Controlled by Richard. Hammers a shot from the, missed the shot, goes to the right, over here to the near side, and takes another shot, intercepted by, now slowed down by Z. Z's got it now, going to break the zone, waiting for a pass. Turns across ice to Dylan. Got a little bit behind him, but Dylan pushes it in. Intercepted, though, and puts us offside. Swooping in, it's Danny. Got to get us back on side. It does, but right through a Richmond player, and they chip it ahead back to neutral ice. Danny pushes it ahead, and loose puck right at the red line. Digging on it right there. Squirts out Yosef's got it, puts some speed on, and enters the zone. Takes a shot, missed the net to the left. Comes over here, now controlled by forecheck go on Yosef. Saw over him. Centers it. Missed a one-timer to Dylan. Dylan didn't know where the puck went. Goes into the slot. Now controlled by Richmond. Short-handed, going the other way. Richmond's going to cross the red line. They're making some changes behind the play. Now they come on offside. Made a move right at the blue line. Across the ice, the player was offside. 8:18 on that stoppage play. Another solid 60 seconds in the Patriot power play. Jackson, Danny, Z, Yosef, and Dylan. Controlled by Richmond, intercepted by Dylan. Dylan swats at a pass, now dumps it in, now put us offside, and now lost the puck back to Jackson. Jackson chips it ahead over to Dylan. Dylan's going to enter his onside, chips it in, goes to right of the net. Loose puck now settled by Richmond. The forecheck of Dylan's there, and they kick it over here to the far side. Now still controlled by Richmond, playing keep away now behind their net, and the forecheck backed off. And now Dylan approaching, and now they make some moves to get away from that. Knocked away by Yosef, comes through the red line. Danny's there swatting at it, but knocked it in. Now got behind our D a little bit, and still short-handed. Centers it, missed the pass though, goes through the crease over to the far side. Dylan's there and shovels it out of the zone. Now slowed down by Richmond at neutral ice. 23 seconds in the power play for the Patriots continue. Richmond pushes it ahead towards the blue line, and now enters the zone, dumps it in on a backhand. And now loose puck behind the net settled by Jackson. Forecheck got him, but missed the check, and now Danny's there, pushes it ahead, touched up by Joseph, but can't clear the zone. Now bouncing puck, big collision at the blue line. Puck goes over to the far side, still in our defensive zone. Shovel ahead to Joseph. Joseph's got a bouncing puck, chips it in now back to full strength for Richmond. Joseph's there, looking for a pass. Sit it on net, got hammered out of there by the defense. Almost put it on in the goal himself. Fired it across ice, missed everybody, goes all the way down, and they're saying no icing. Chasing after it is Cohen, but so is Richmond. Richmond's there, knocks the puck away. Loose puck behind the net, now set up by Richmond. Richmond got on a backhand, trying to center it. Knocked away, goes, oh! No goal! And I don't know how he got reached back and knocked that. Goes out to the high slot. Richmond now settles the puck at the blue line and holds his own. And now banging on it, though, is pushed away and cleared the zone by Ellis and out to neutral ice. 6:42 in the third period, now settled by behind their own net. But Dakota's there on a forecheck. And now they cleared the zone out to neutral ice. And Cohen's there. We're offside. And we'll see this face-off come. Right at the blue line. We got Ellis, Dakota, Riot. It's going to come over to center ice. Chris and Cohen. Dakota on the near side. Riot taking the draw. Controlled by the Patriots. Back to Chris. Chris fires at edge. Dakota settles the puck across the red line. Now enters the zone. We're offside. Ellis just got one step offside over there. And back to the blue line. 6:26 to go in the third period. Patriots are down by 1 goal. And we're going to swap out some defenders. Williams out to now with Langston. Ellis, Riot, Dakota. And waiting for that to get sorted out. And here comes the draw. And it's controlled by the Patriots. Ellis got it. Takes a shot. Missed the net high to the left. Over here to the near side. Settled by Richmond. And now approached by Dakota on a forecheck. Tied up the puck in the corner. And now they're battling for it. It's stuck down there. Squirts out. Riot's got on the backhand. Shovels a shot. Got knocked away by the defense. Goes over to the far side. Settled by, it goes the bouncing puck in the air out to the high slot, and they clear the zone going the other way, and it's a foot race. And Langston's going to get there, chips on a shovel pass over to William. William settles up, we got 2 forecheckers on him, sends it over to Ellis. Ellis now skating with it, going to get joined by Dakota, going to hammer a shot from outside the zone. Misses the net here to the left, comes over, Dakota fetches it, pushes it in, but he's got a back check on him, lost the puck in the corner, now picked up by Richmond. Swatting at was Riot, held in by Langston, goes into the circle. Now Riot takes a shot, misses to the left, goes over to the far side. Ellis is over there, going to settle a bouncing puck. Fired it off a Richmond player's legs. And now bouncing puck in the air, now settled by Richmond. Richmond's got to try to clear the zone, skating hard to break out now. And there they go, crossing the red line. And got behind our defense a little bit. And now having their centering pass, got knocked away by Riot. Now comes out, and now we're making some changes. Swooping in is Dylan. Dylan pushes the puck behind our net. Goes through the slot. Now there's a player at Richmond there. He takes a shot, ricocheting around. Loose puck, and they score. That was an unfortunate bounce there, right to the Richmond player on the side of the net, and they found the back of the net, and they go up 3-1. 5:11 to go in the third period. Right in the midst of a change there, didn't help either. We got Gethin, Zach, Johnny, Jackson, and Danny. Zach taking the draw. Johnny on the near side. Gethin on the far side. And controlled by Richmond. They send it back, though, to Jackson. Jackson fires this puck in deep. Could be icing. Icing's the call. Coming all the way back. 5:05. Coming all the way back in the defensive zone. Patriots are down now by 2 goals. They're going to stay out there for them to ship. Zach taking the draw. Johnny and controlled by Richmond back to the top of the circle. Now they dump it back in, but over to Jackson's there. Flicks it out towards the point. Clears the zone. Now settled by Richmond and neutral ice. Got to get back onside. They lost their edge at the end of the zone, but he kept onside and dumped it in as he fell. And now throws it behind the net. Loose puck approaching is Danny. Danny chips it over here to the near side point, but Richmond's there to stop it. And they can't quite handle the puck, but get past Johnny. And now going to the bottom, top of the circle. Now in the circle. Takes a shot. Scores! And puts the score 4-1. Richmond. 4:41 to go in the period, and back to center ice for a face-off. Riot, John, Nico, Chris, and Cohen. Riot's taking the draw. Nico's on the far side. John on the near side. And controlled by Richmond. And they dump it into our zone. Shipped out of there by Chris. So now loose puck in neutral ice. John's there swatting at it, but still loose. Now taken away by Riot charges into the zone, knocked away by a defender. Now approaches John on a forecheck, comes out to the blue line, can't hold his own, going the other way, and Cohen's got to get back to this, hammers it towards the blue line, and they don't clear the zone though. Now the puck's loose behind our net, and Cohen goes and fetches it. Goes off a Richmond player, now loose behind that, now settled by Chris on a backhand. Shovels it ahead for Nico, can't clear the zone. Richmond holds it in, dumps it in deep now behind our net. And Richmond's down there, and Chris approaches, kicks it away. A loose puck stuck to the back of the net there for a minute. Now settled by Richmond on a forehand. They send it out to the high slot. Richmond takes a shot from the top of the circle, knocked away by Cohen's skate. Now goes into the crease and through the slot. Takes another shot. Loose puck goes through the slot and knocked away, and now back into the circle on the far side. Battling for it though, and now in the top of the circle, takes a shot, missed to the right on the near side. Approaching is Chris. Chris gets there and ships it out towards the blue line. Held it in though, and now no, offsides is the call. 3:38 to go in the period. Offsides. We're going to get some fresh legs out there for a neutral zone faceoff. William and Langston, Dakota, Z, and Ellis. And controlled by Richmond. They bring it back. It launches it. It could be out of play. No, it goes in really deep though. Now William gets it behind the net. Puts the brakes on to get away from forecheck. Sends it over to Dakota. Dakota tries to chip it on, does. Clears the zone. Could be icing. No, he's saying wave the icing. Going all the way down. And foot race. Z's on a forecheck. Fires it up toward, hits something weird. Hit the bony door there. And now it's kept in the zone, but now clears out. And Richmond throws it past our defense, and it's a foot race. And Langston's on his horse though, and chips it back towards the blue line. And now loose puck on against the boards. Comes into the slot, intercepted by Z. Z settles it there, lost the puck. Goes into the near side corner. Puts it on a forehand and fires it across. William almost got intercepted, clears the zone. And now it's a foot race. Gets there, but Ellis is forechecking him and skating away with it. And now through neutral ice, through the legs. And now back. Ellis is there trying to poke at it. Richard's trying to get back on side into the high slot. Richard throws it into the slot, knocked away by Langston. And player goes down, but no call. Langston's got it on a forehand now. Sends it out cross ice, got intercepted by Richmond. They're offside though, and you recognize that. Now he hammers it in deep, they're back onside. Puck's loose behind the net, Langston's on. We've got 2:30 on a rolling clock. And Langston gets there, shovels it ahead for Dakota. Dakota trying to clear the zone, and does. Over the head to Ellis. Ellis now settles the puck. He's gonna go on a 2-on-1 here. Winds up, takes a shot. Goalie saw it, now to stop play. And we had some players go down there, no call. Just got tied up, I think. No malicious intent. Third period. Patriots are down by 3 goals in the offensive zone for this faceoff. 2:21 to go in the game. Zach, Dylan, Joseph, Jackson, and Danny takes a shot, missed the left. Comes now stuck back there for a second. Forecheck continues, speared into the boards by Dylan. Now shoveled out of there. Another's got a penalty coming, and it's going to be, I think, on the Patriots. Zach took that. I thought that was Z. It's actually Zach. Okay, so roughing's the call on Zach. It's going to come all the way back in our defensive zone. 2:11 to go in the period. Penalty kill for the Patriots for basically the rest of the game. And we're down by 3 goals. Okay, Dylan's taking this draw. Jackson, Joseph, and Danny. Patriots win the draw. Joseph comes charging out of the zone short-handed, going the other way. Got a 1-on-2. Chips it past the defense. Still battling. Gets behind him a bit. He got knocked away by the defender, goes into the far corner. Now Jones there on a persistent check, goes all the way down. Now chasing after it's Danny, but he got a forecheck on his tail. And gets there, fires it over here to the near side. Joseph's there, you got to settle the puck. Forecheck continues by Richmond. They fired out towards the point, held in by Richmond. Richmond got in the top of the circle, now against the far side boards. Skating in deep now, the defender went all the way in there. And now the puck squirts out behind the net, chasing after it is Jackson. Now the puck's still battling for it, stuck off the side of the net, now into the circle, knocked away by Joseph. Loose puck in the corner. Richmond's there, they try to center it, and it goes on net, but then knocked away to the top of the circle. He's gonna hammer a shot, goes off of Joseph. He winced, but still got a goal on here. Short-handed, brings in the zone, fires a shot. Goalie saw it and gloved it, now to stop play. Heck of an effort by Joseph. He took a hard shot off the shin guards, and he winced and still managed to keep a head of steam on there. We're still short-handed here for another minute and 11. But that stoppage of play was on the offensive zone face-off for the Patriots. 1:23 to go in the period. 1:11 left in this kill. Riot taking the draw. John sets up against the boards. We got Chris and Cohen back on D. John got a skate on that. Holds back to dumped in by Chris. Chopped at by the defenders and now into the high slot. Now set up by Richard going the other way. Richard crosses the red line and we're getting back set on D. And dumped it into the far corner. And now chasing after it's Richard and they settle the puck. and taken away by Chris. Chris knocks it over to the far side, shovels it out towards the blue line, clear to zone. This could be on net. Now the goalie's going to play it. It comes over to the near side, and John's on a forecheck and managed to keep it there stuck on the boards. Bounces out. Riot's out there now. Puck is over to Chris. Chris pushes it ahead to Riot, but now intercepted by Richmond. Richmond sends it over to the far blue line. There's nobody there except Richmond, and now Cohen's there trying to slow him down and bounces off a couple players, but Richmond's onside. They shovel this centering pass that goes off of Chris, and now over to the far boards. Now over to the near side point. Settled by the top of the side. Takes a shot going off of Chris's, and it takes another shot, and goalie got a piece of that. Goes over to the top of the circle. Takes another shot. This time goes off of Riot, now towards the high slot. Shovels it back in on the backhand. Takes a hit as he left his zone. Trying to clear it out, but can't, and now battling for it, stuck on the boards. We got 23 seconds left to play. Now settled by Richmond, and they dock it into the corner. Cohen's down there battling for the puck. Now taken another by Richmond. Richmond's going to throw it in, trying to center it, and it's still stuck behind the net. Now it comes over to the near side boards. A little less than 10 seconds to play. Chris is there, fires it out of the zone, could go all the way down, could be icing. And lost its energy though, and 3 seconds left. This game is over. Richmond wins the game 4-1. 33 shots on goal for Richmond, 18 shots on goal for the Patriots. All right, no more hockey this weekend. Thanks for tuning in.